Welcome to this very historic episode 20 of the Improv Gaming's Gamescast. Here on this journey with me, as always, he's only the biggest Zelda fan in the world. Don't believe me, he's going to try to beat me today with the Majora's Mask.
Yes, I will.
With the Triforce on his arm, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jeremy Bird.
How we doing? I'm going to win.
Yeah, okay. What, you just woke up from Neverland, did we, Peter Pan?
Well,
on our
that's
right,
your name, smartass.
Peter Pan is a great movie. We'll get into it.
Tinkerbell.
To my right, he only has the best ponytail in the business.
How's it going tonight, everybody?
It's fabulous.
It is fabulous.
Yes!
Yeah, because last week I said it was Mr. Nicholas. And I'm Pete. And what I'm wondering this week,
Oh, goodness.
what was your favorite show growing up? Not cartoon.
Not cartoons.
Not cartoons.
Favorite
Like,
television show, live action.
for me, Boy Meets World.
I was going to say Boy Meets World.
I just think it was very good. It had the adult humor. It had the kid humor. You know, just you fell in love with those characters. Eric Matthews, Corey Matthews, Sean Hunter, you know.
Actually, you know what? I would say Family Matters for me. With Steve Urkel.
You would.
Dinosaurs.
Yes.
That was a great show.
Not the mama.
Never seen.
You never seen it?
No.
I'm the baby, gotta love me.
Big purple eyes and very cuddly. Oh, I know the song.
was so
Are you
awesome.
a Dinosaurs fan? Would you pick that as your...
No, Power Rangers.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
Oh, that's technically an anime, though.
No.
That's live action.
Cartoon.
I was just arguing with him, not you ass.
You know what? Boy Meets World was... You know what also was good? Was a little bit later, Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
Which was good.
But it was.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't amazing, but it was.
It had its own little Boy Meets World style of adult humor and everything like that. But Power Rangers, the original or like
The original.
Dinosaur Thunder Turbo?
They're remaking it. They're gonna make a movie.
Yeah,
Which
they're
I
gonna
am
make a
definitely
movie.
going to
Oh,
say.
yeah.
Oh, of course. And
Tommy's gonna be in it.
Tommy's gonna be the white or Green Ranger. Whatever.
If you want to go actually adult, not kids show, Full House.
Full House was good too.
Full House was good.
Remember just TGI Fridays?
Yes.
That was good. You were excited for Fridays. You didn't want to go out to the bars because you were young, but you had all these great shows: Step by Step, Family Matters,
man.
Boy Meets World, Full House. The list goes on. If you didn't know, every week here on YouTube.com/Improv Gaming, we bring you 3 topics, sometimes debates. We break it up topic by topic, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for your enjoyment. Today's episode is where I destroy Jeremy and Majora's Mask.
Nope.
We've been building up to this.
Wrong.
We had me and
Wrong!
Nick. How am I wrong? We've had me and Nick go against Destiny. They've gone against Ocarina and Final Fantasy, which in fact, if you watch, Nick did destroy Jeremy.
I know.
So it's going to be another slaughterfest.
Well, if you look at it more properly, he beat you in Destiny, and then he beat me in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, so this is just a competition between losers because I'm already the
there
ultimate
you go.
winner.
Which means that we're gonna make him 0-3 right now.
You're gonna make it.
But first, can I do the one-up news? Do you want to Pete way into this, or how do you want to do this, sweetheart?
I think he just jaywalked right into that.
Time for the one-up news.
Choke on that. Okay, we have
Clusterfuck.
another big week of games before the kids go back to school. We have Amnesia Memories for the Vita. We have Calvero Noir for PS4. Capsule Force for PS4 and PS3. I Am Bread for PS4.
I'm so excited for that.
I am bread? Yes.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay, you're a piece of bread, and your objective is to get from one side of the kitchen to the other to be
That's
toast.
awesome.
Nice.
But like, you get all this shit on you, like you can fall on the floor
You
and
get
get
shit
dirt.
on?
So as much as like your dirt meter, basically.
Gotcha.
So you have to make sure you don't.
So it's like the 5-second rule. It's basically like playing out the 5-second rule.
Yeah.
Of like
So, like,
dropping
you
your
have to
bread,
get- yeah.
and the bread has to get from the floor to the toaster, and it can only have this much dirt. And
Yes.
that's about
That's
5
great.
seconds. That's
It's like going over
that's
the
awesome.
sink. You can't have like.
You
Definitely
can't get
expect
soaked.
many
That's
Let's Plays
awesome.
and Twitches from
That's
like
gonna
on
be
I
awesome.
Am
If you like
Bread.
Octodad, you'll like that game.
If you watched last week, I did
That was
Octodad.
yesterday.
Well,
That was
for
today. For today.
It's for today, but when they're watching it was last week.
Oh, yeah, oops. Time lapse.
Way to break the fourth wall.
I'm Deadpool,
Surprise.
motherfucker.
But no, I had so much fun doing that Let's Play. I might do more of them just because it was just so much fun. Going around and just enjoying it much.
Okay.
But go back to your one-up news.
Okay,
I
alright.
don't
We
want to be
also
that mean yet.
Shut We also have Party Hard for PC, Steins Gate for PS3 and Vita, Warhammer 40,000 Regicide for PC.
Warhammer, really?
Yep. Lara Croft Go for iOS and Android. Skip. Layers of Fear for PC. Runbow for Wii U. Whispering Willows for Xbox One and iOS. We have the Elder Scrolls Online Imperial City DLC for PC. And the big hitters this week, we have Disney Infinite 3.0 coming out for basically everything from Xbox to PS3, 4, PC, and Wii U. The Call of Duty Black Ops 3 beta for Xbox comes out a week later after the PS4 came out last week. This guy's excited for Until Dawn, which comes out.
Oh my god, looks amazing.
Madden NFL 16 comes out, which we will be going to the midnight release.
Expect videos.
Yes. We have Dishonored the Definitive Edition coming out.
Ooh.
Gears of War Ultimate Edition coming out. And
Which I'm excited because remember, if you play the multiplayer before the end of the year, you get all of the 4 backwards compatibility gears for free. So you don't have to go out and buy them if you don't have them.
And the one I'm looking forward to the most is Mega Man Legacy Collection for Xbox, PS4, and PC. And you'll appreciate this. One Piece Pirate Warriors comes out for PS4, 3, Vita, and PC.
That's nice.
So it's good week in
Me
gaming.
likey. Me likey to One Piece.
Video games, just take my money.
Yes. Shut up and take my
And
money.
that was the one-up news. And now I go to the page of his demise.
Well, we gotta do this right.
Hold on, before we get started, alright? You guys are gonna beat the hell out of each other. So I'm gonna have to referee this
I promise you
and
won't.
sit right in the middle.
Ooh,
Alright?
ooh,
I'm
let's
gonna have
go.
to be the buffer between
Until
the two.
one time we just pushed Nick out of the
Yeah.
way.
Well, I mean,
He
with-
flies behind. So let's move.
Oh, Pete, your ass.
Damn right.
Oop.
Oh my god, this is so weird.
Yeah, oh. I am not in the right... Whoa, give me my shit, bro.
It's not my fault you put it there.
Alright,
This is weird.
so... Ooh. Okay, gentlemen. No punching below the belt. You obey all my rules.
And when you tell us to shut the fuck up.
Nick is very excited about this. When me and Jeremy refereed, we're like, all right, have your fun. Nick is like, no, there will be no below the belt. You will listen to me at all the times. I have a whistle.
Let's have a good fight, alright?
Me gloves in the middle.
Touch gloves?
Touch gloves.
Alright.
Where are we starting with, kid?
So, we're starting with length of game. Is this actually constitutional of a game? The length of the game. How long did you play it? Go.
You want the champ to start? Okay.
I want the Zelda fan to start, actually, yeah.
I like how it's done with the 3 days, how you have the different events going on. It keeps the story moving along versus like an Ocarina of Time. You can literally go through the game and be like, all right, let me go through these 4 dungeons and then I'll come back and finish these up. This one, it's like, all right, I got a 3 day time limit. Do I want to do this, this, and this? Or do I want to do this, this, and this the time I'm playing this game? I have no problem with the length. I'll let him speak in a couple minutes, but honestly, I think it's very replayable for how it is. Because the first time you go through, you're not going to know what the fuck you're going to do. You're not going to know you have to do this to like get this item. Second time, you may remember everything. And the third time, you should be able to like come in close to knowing what you need to do to get all the different entries in the bomber screen just to complete the game.
Pete, what are your thoughts
Rebuttal?
on the length of the game?
Let me begin by saying thank you for everybody watching. It's an honor to beat Jeremy here tonight. Let me talk to you about the length of the game. First of all, this game was rushed.
Yes, it was. I can tell you why.
Are you speaking?
Oh.
Excuse
No,
me,
no, no,
referee.
I thought this was a rebuttal. I was
No,
under the impression
no,
that this was
I-
a rebuttal.
you know
I don't
why
think
it
there's
was
a
rushed?
rebuttal in the middle of a rebuttal.
I have an answer for everything
This
you're
is
going
not
to say, motherfucker.
This is not a rebuttal. This is a rebuttal.
Harry, go ahead. I'll blow you away in a minute. Go ahead, sweetheart.
This game was rushed.
Wrong.
Keep all comments until the end of the last person speaking.
It was rushed. Number one, let's take a look at it. It's 3 days. I like the 3-day mentality, but it just doesn't work out because you feel rushed automatically in the game. That's number one. Number two, there's 4 dungeons. Do you remember in Ocarina of Time, when you were a kid, there was first 3 dungeons / temples to go into? So right there, the beginning of Ocarina of Time is 3/4 of what Majora's Mask is. That's number 2. like I said, 4 dungeons in total. Were they alright dungeons? Yeah, I don't think they were as good as the Ocarina Temple and other Zelda game temples. There were some cool, the last one being the one where you could flip it upside down and
Stone Temple.
The Stone Temple, and you could do all this stuff, and then at the end with the fight, that's a cool thing. But in the most part, you saw the same thing. The Water Temple. Every Water Temple sucks in Zelda.
I don't mind that one so much.
You have the Goron Temple with the mountain, or when it's freezing over, and you have to do that. Cool process. But when you talk about length, it was rushed. You could tell that it's like, okay, if you just want to do these 3 things, you're going to be done. And then you get into that time where, correct me if I'm wrong, there was no double time in the Majora's Mask N64.
What do you mean double time?
Where you can go to the exact time you need to go to.
Yes, you can.
You can in the 64 version?
Yep.
What is it? It's double time? Because from what I understand, for the 3DS, it was not. The 3DS was you can choose exactly the hour you want.
Okay, that's the difference. Because in the original 64, it was you can only move like 6 hours ahead.
But you can't do the exact hour.
No, when that came up, I was like, all right, I didn't like that change because that way it's like, all right, I gotta manage my time. This one's like, oh, I can do this, and then.
See, but that's the thing. If you're talking about length, if somebody wants to play something, and this gets into about the content of the game, but just to touch on it quick, if I need to be somewhere at 1 p.m. For the 64 version, you couldn't do it at that point. Obviously, the 3DS did upgrade the graphics and did add the double time where you can do the exact hour. But when you first play the N64 version, which a lot of our fans have played, because if you're a Zelda fan, you played the N64 version, it was a nuisance. Oh, I gotta be at this one point, but I'm all the way at the other half of the map. I gotta run like hell. And then if you miss it, you miss it. And then you have to wait for the 3-day cycle to go again. Like, for example, you have a lot of the side missions, you have to do day 1, day 2, day 3, correct?
Yes.
So if you get to day 3 and you miss it, that means you have to redo everything, And for some people, it sucks because it shows that, if you don't do everything at the exact same time, it's frustrating. That is my opening argument.
I thought we were talking about the length of the game.
We are. I'm saying that the length, with this time thing, I feel like it takes away from the game.
I feel it doesn't.
Ocarina of Time was. We can't ask for Nick because he's.
I am not a Zelda player, so you can't ask about my opinion.
Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. All of these were full temples, dungeons, all this stuff. It took you a little bit to get the Master Sword, everything like that. You don't even get the Master Sword in Zelda, which is number 1. In the Majora's Mask, you don't even get the Master Sword.
Because you're not in Hyrule.
Yes, I understand that, but still, Zelda game, when you think, and we'll get into this later, I have so much to trounce you on, it's not even funny. I'm just saying, with the length of the game, the time, I feel, hinders the game. It's a cool concept, but I feel like it's just, if you don't know all the little tricks and the trades, it's going to be, like I said, and I told you this argument, when I was playing the 3DS version, and they redid that boss battle with the twin snakes in the Stone Temple, I was running at the last hour or 2 of day 3. I'm still trying to take down this boss, and I'm like, son of a bitch, if I don't do this, I have to redo everything, And then the game resets, you lose everything that you got, except for the key items, of course, like the hero's bow and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then you have the master key saved for the levels. So when you go back in, you just go right to the top and you go fight the boss.
Yeah, but still, it's something where, it shouldn't be that I feel like I'm locked into this thing. You have to rush. It's rushing. The whole game is all about rush. They rushed it out after the success of Ocarina of Time. They're rushing it with the time mentality where it's like you got to do as fast as you can and make sure you get everything. For the completionists, I'm surprised. It would drive you nuts having to do all this stuff. The straight fairies. You know how many times I got to the straight fairies and then at the end it's like, oh, your time is up. So I had no time to go to the fairy fountain and get my reward. I never got a full... I got the defense, I got the heart defense, I got the extra magic, but I missed one of them in the Goro Temple. Yeah. And if you could fill me in, I'm not sure of it offhand, but I was just like... I was upset because I'm like, if Majora's Mask would have been great without that time thing and if it was more fleshed out. I really enjoyed most of it.
I know it's a pain in the ass, but with the fairy thing, here's how I do it. I go through the temple, I collect as many fairies as I can, I kill the boss, and then I get the mask, whatever. I then go to reset time, I slow time down, I go right there, I throw the Great Fairy mask on, I collect all fairies, and I collect my reward.
Yeah, but if you go back in time, you lose the fairies. Because that's what
Yeah,
happened
that's why
to
you
me.
wear the mask to go in and get them again.
Yeah, but why would you collect them the first time?
If you're good enough, you can do it. I'm not good enough to beat the whole temple, get the fairies, and get the boss in one shot. I literally was like, all right, instead of driving myself nuts, let me go to the temple, kill the boss, come back, grab the fairies. Next.
That's what happens to adding onto the length. Because then
That-
it's, I gotta go back. That shouldn't be how it is. You collect them, you're good, you're done. You're going.
I'm fine with it, but literally, how you say the game is rushed? They would have gave him 1 year. NGI Inuma, who's the series developer of Zelda, he put his heart and soul into Ocarina of Time, and basically, Nintendo said, we want a new Zelda game because Ocarina of Time was so popular, but we need it done within a year. He put his heart and soul into those Ocarina dungeons. He's like, look, I don't want to have to do like a whole new game with 12 friggin' dungeons. I'm just going to literally make it kind of like a terminal, like a place where people go and then leave. That's literally what the whole design of it was. Literally, let's see, how can we make a good Zelda game and literally expand the replayability versus having to go point A to point B with a new concept? The game literally was rushed within a year to get out. I know, like, oh, it's rushed. The game's like you even said this. This is the one game that fans disagree the most. You like it or you hate it. I think the length of the game is perfect for what it is. In my opinion, Termina is small in scope, but it's filled to the brim with content.
How do you feel about that? Is there a lot of content?
Yes, there is.
It's content within Temeria, right? If I'm correct. Termina, I apologize. It's all in that building where it's going to certain people at certain times, going to the hotel to make sure these lovers get back together at the end, which is one of the last things I did for the 3DS version.
You have to get the couple's mask.
You have to get the couple's mask. You have to arrange for all these people to stay this way, but then if you do the postman and you don't deliver the mail, then you have to do it the other way and have him deliver instead of you delivering it. You know, it's repetition. It's all about doing like, okay, go to point A to point B, you know, and then it's basically doing the same thing every single day. You know, Archer, perfect example, the dance sequence with the two dancers, where you have to throw the bombs for day 2, I believe, or day 1.
Bomb, choose, and arrows.
Bomb, choose, yeah. So you have that, but each day it's the basically same thing. It's the target. It's just a different item. You know, you do the bomb choose, which is probably the most difficult one, I would say.
If you can time it right, yeah.
The bombs, you know, where you're throwing, but if you fall off the stage, you know, you have to redo it. And if you redo it, you have to go through the whole cycle all over again. You know, when it comes to the length, yes, it was rushed. They had a year because they were building off Ocarina of Time. But, you know, it could have been something where, you know, the thing that gets me is the dungeons. You don't think that the 4 dungeons were not enough?
No, I thought it was perfect because the game doesn't drag on then.
You think Ocarina then dragged on? You're saying Ocarina dragged on.
Well, okay, literally, to compare Ocarina of Time...
I'm getting him.
No, to compare Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask is apples and oranges. It's 2 different worlds, it's 2 different game concepts.
It's a sequel.
It's a sequel, but it's 2 different game concepts.
No, you don't... I'm sorry, let me tune in, please. You don't make a sequel that's a completely different game.
Yes, you do. That's exactly what they did.
No, God of War 1 and God of War 2 is not different.
Give me an example of another series that made a sequel that was a completely different game.
But no, I'm not saying in general. But
that's not how a sequel works. It's not like Terminator 2 came out and there was no such thing. It's no such thing as a Terminator. It's not like, oh no, now John Connor's evil. That didn't happen in Terminator 2.
That did happen down the road. But...
It did happen down the road, but that's after a trilogy. All bets are off. Haven't you ever watched Scream?
I watched the first one and I said, fuck the rest of them.
If you honestly think about it, is it being rushed? Is it a good Zelda game? Debatable. There is worse ones in people's eyes. There are obviously better ones. But for it to be rushed and everything, it was charged the same amount as Ocarina was, and I feel like I got half the result of it. I feel like Ocarina of Time was perfect. You had 3 dungeons as a kid. You then got the Master Sword, which you felt fucking empowered. Because when I say Legend of Zelda, do you not think of Master Sword as the top 3 things?
Yep.
And not to get it in Majora's Mask was something like, okay, cool, I got this little gold sword, which I got from...
I know you're saying like, oh, Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Master Sword is what you think of. I say this to everybody. You're not in fucking Hyrule. You can't get the Master Sword. You get the Kakarai Sword, you get the Razor Sword, and you get the Gilded Sword. There's your weapons. You get the Mirror Shield, which shows up from Ocarina of Time, but literally, it's a different world.
Why does the Mirror Shield show up?
Yeah.
For some reason, it made over the transition. I don't know how.
The hero boat shows up too. The bombs show up. Everything else shows up.
Basically, what they decided to do was with this game was instead of it being like you get better items, they decided to do new abilities over items. The mask was the main focal point of the game. That's what the whole thing is.
We'll get into the mask soon.
Yeah, that was their full thing, literally.
So they picked and choose the continuity of what they wanted to show in Zelda.
Yeah, because in Ocarina of Time they felt
how
that
I feel about that.
Because in Ocarina of Time they felt that the masks were underused, so they wanted to show their full potential in Majora's Mask.
When it comes, Zelda does not have sequels. In retrospect, it's always a new hero of time.
Every 100 years, all the different times, yeah.
So for Majora's Mask to be a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, it has to build on that Ocarina of Time mentality.
Yeah.
You don't go from God of War to God of War 2 and totally just say, oh, he doesn't have the chains anymore attached to his hand. Now he just has a bow and arrow and he goes around shooting fucking people.
Well, here's the thing. The whole story with with Majora's Mask is basically, it takes place right after you defeat Ganon in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Because he's going to search for Navi. That's what the whole...
Yeah, okay, let's talk about that. In the beginning of the game, he's going through the forest on the horse.
Epona, yeah.
Epona. He's going on the horse. He sees two fairies. You don't think he's going to ask the fairies where Navi is?
He didn't see the fairies. The fairies followed him. They scared Epona. He fell off Epona and got knocked unconscious. And when Skull Kid took Epona into Termina, that's how the whole game begins. Wrong. He never saw the fairies before they scared Epona, and that's when he chased after them when he saw Skull Kid picking up the Ocarina of Time.
Yet he meets...
He's stuttering now, see?
He meets the fairy, and he never says, oh, where the fuck is Navi?
Well, he's like, I gotta get Epona back. I know it's like...
He never says that in the game.
No, but
you don't get Epona back for halfway into the game.
Yeah, but literally, you assume, he's like, alright, okay, I was looking for Navi, and then
You have to train Epona again. It's not even... Epona doesn't even know who you are. You have to freaking learn...
I know, but the thing is, he's trying to get the Ocarina back.
You have to play the song again for... Epona. You have to play his song.
You.
Yes, but you have to play the song. Why couldn't he just play the song originally?
Because she's captured. She's captured in the ranch and she can't get out.
Well, if you get to day 3,
because the ranch is covered by boulders. Remember?
But on day 3, there's no boulders. I could easily.
Yeah, because you blow them up.
Yeah, but I can. No, I didn't. You don't blow it up. The guy with the axe cuts it for the 3 days. Unless you blow it up. The guy with the axe is cutting it for the 3 days. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right, yeah.
Thank
you still can't get her unless you actually go through the whole events.
Yes, but still, that's saying, it's, oh, I forgot how to do everything. The game, it's just, you have to build on your predecessors when it comes to sequels. Some sequels fail, like infamous Second Son. You have, where everybody's waiting to see Cole, and at the end there's no Cole. It's just, you build on the stuff. And yes, is it rushed? Yeah, of course. But they're building on what Ocarina of Time was. You can't say that it wasn't inspired by Ocarina of Time. Clearly it was.
It's inspired, but it became a completely different game.
It was, but it's something where it's not as good as the other Zelda games. It pairs in comparison when you have all these different concepts. The length is just one of many things wrong with this game. And that's what I have to say about Link.
Completely disagree.
So, in terms of the length of the game, you feel like it was too short.
Yeah.
And you feel like it was just right.
I feel it's just right and it's very replayable.
Okay. Alright. That's our perspective on it. And by our, I mean Jeremy and Pete's perspective on it. Pete thinks it's too short. Jeremy thinks it's replayable. I don't really know what to take from it. I've got to play it in order for me to make my decision. But why don't you let us know in the comments what you think about it, and who do you agree with? Do you agree with Jeremy, who thinks that it's very replayable, or do you agree with Pete, who thinks that the game was just too short?
It was rushed and too short.
Bullshit.
So, tune in next time, where we're going to talk about the content of our game, and as always, game on. Sorry, you're right, sir.
What? Am I right?
Yeah.